My father is a person who can turn math problems into stand-up comedy. When I was 7 years old, he taught me how to keep chickens and rabbits in the same cage. He placed the family's Luha chicken on the table and said, "Look at this chicken. It has 2 legs. If we put 2 artificial legs on it, won't it become a rabbit?" Scared, the hen flapped her wings and pecked at his slippers, while I laughed so hard that I rolled under the table. Later, he was imprisoned for embezzling public funds. When I went to visit him, he gestured through the glass. "Daughter, do you think Dad looks like a big rabbit in prison now?" At that moment, I suddenly thought of that reed flour chicken. Tears and laughter mingled together, becoming the most complicated taste of my childhood. A childhood fed by books. A full-text Wizard of Oz on my 3rd birthday. My mom held a brick-thick copy of The Wizard of Oz in front of me and said, "I'll buy you marshmallows after you finish reading it." From then on, I sat on a small stool with the book in my arms, pronouncing Oz as rotten egg and witch as female demon, and actually finished it all. Later, in a storytelling competition at the kindergarten, I called Dorothy the crazy girl who loves to wear red shoes, which made the teacher laugh so hard that she slapped the table. This was my earliest literary enlightenment. With the sweetness of cotton candy and the naivety of typos, the forbidden books hidden in the wardrobe. When I was in the 5th grade, I found a box of old books in the attic. The covers showed a woman in a chansum and a man with a pipe in his mouth. When I read her lips are like blood-stained cherries, my mother suddenly pushed the door open and came in. Not only did she not take it away, but she also threw me a red pen and said, "Draw the well-written sentences. We'll test you at breakfast tomorrow." Later I learned that it was Eileen Chang's Red Rose and White Rose. While my mother was a key member of the Literary Society when she was young, but after marrying my father, she locked her dream in the wardrobe. 2. Parents' Absurd Education Class. The Dog Food Customer in the Black Internet Cafe. The winter, when my dad took me to the illegal internet cafe, the keyboard was covered with sticky cola stains. He asked me to idle the characters in Legend and team up with netizens to fight the boss. I squatted in the corner, feeling bored, and saw the big wolf dog at the door, eating dog food, the kind of pellets mixed with red and mung beans. For some strange reason, I grabbed a handful and stuffed it into my mouth. To my surprise, it was sweet. When my dad found out, he didn't scold me. Instead, he secretly stuffed 2 handfuls into my pocket and said, "If your mom finds out about this, she won't bring you here anymore." Now, when I think of that bag of dog food, I always feel that the childhood with a rusty taste has a somewhat strange, sweet flavor. A hot pot party at 2 o'clock in the morning. My mother always takes me to have hot pot in the early hours of the morning. Right across the street is a nightclub, so the young ladies in sequined dresses would come to share the table. Teach me to pick up the boiling beef tongue with chopsticks and pour beer into glasses to mix with Sprite. One time I was so spicy that I kept sticking out my tongue. A sister stuffed ice cubes into my mouth, and my mom laughed until tears came out beside me. Eat slowly. No one is trying to snatch it from you. Later I learned that those elder sisters were models in my mother's studio, and she often stayed up all night drawing pictures to meet orders. Taking me to have hot pot was just a change of place to work. 3. The soft light filter and the broken. The last time I rode on my father's shoulder that year at the comic convention, my dad carried me on his shoulder to watch the cosplay. His height of 183 enabled me to clearly see Saber on the stage, and his armor shone brightly under the light. He bought me a huge Totoro doll, but left it on the bus on his way home. I was crying so hard that I could hardly catch my breath. He squatted down to wipe my tears and said, "Daughter, from now on, Dad will buy you a real Totoro." Later, he never showed up again. And I still remember the warmth of his shoulders and the fluffy touch of the Totoro doll to this day. Mother's Lies and Wings when I was in junior high school, found that my mother's suitcase was full of fabric samples. Only then did I realize that what she called traveling was actually going to Guangzhou to purchase goods. One time when she came home in the early hours of the morning, her ankle was swollen like a steamed bun, but she smiled and boasted to me, "Look, Mom bought you a Disney headband in Hong Kong." I turned around and secretly wiped away my tears, only to hear her humming a song in the kitchen. It was Olive Tree, her favorite song when she was young. Only now do I understand that she wasn't deceiving me, but was weaving a childhood without cracks for me. My childhood was like a crumpled comic book, with holes burned by my father, with cigarette butts and rainbows mended by my mother with colored pens. Those absurd fragments and painful moments were eventually turned into honey by time. Just like that chicken with a reed flower that was forced to peck by my father back then, it later laid a W-oak egg. Life always brings unexpected surprises in the cracks, and what our parents have given us with all their might is the courage to look up and see the stars even when we are in the mud. Interactive topic. Did you also have similar, absurd yet warm segments in your childhood? How did those seemingly fragmented memories shape who you are now?